Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. This is fantastic news for fans of Ahsoka, who are eager for a second season. For those who are worried that plot points were going to be absorbed by Mando 4, that is not the case. It's going to be distinctive. And Mandalorian Season 4 is going to focus on Din, Grogu, Bo-Katan, and the rest of the characters for that show, so there isn't going to be any time wasted focusing on other stories from other series in the Mandoverse. And on top of this, making Star Wars have contradicted the rumour that The Mandalorian Season 4 is going to be a movie. That's right, according to their source, The Mandalorian is staying on the TV format, with the vast majority of the season ready to film and written. So on the first subject, Bespin Bulletins say this: now that we're 2 months removed from the Ahsoka finale, and there's still been no word on if the series is receiving a season 2, some fans have speculated if Ahsoka doesn't get a renewal, will we see the story plan for the second season interwoven and mixed into the Mandoverse, in a similar way that Rangers of the New Republic was fused into Mando Season 3 and Ahsoka Season 1. This is not the case. I think Dave Filoni fully expects Ahsoka Season 2 to eventually go into production. That is still in the pipeline. As for The Mandalorian Season 4, there is no or very little overlap with Ahsoka. This kind of merging of stories is going to take place in Dave Filoni's film, but Season 4 is very much Din Djarin and Grogu. Maybe, as some early reports suggested, some Boba Fett, and maybe he comes back into the picture, but no Ahsoka in Mando 4. Reliable Star Wars insider and reporter making Star Wars took to the subreddit Star Wars News to share some tidbits for Skeleton Crew, which I did cover in yesterday's video, and in addition they opted to include a tidbit for the 4th season of The Mandalorian. A singular source of his connected to the next season informed him there are no plans for plot points of Dave's Ahsoka Season 2 to be absorbed into the 4th season of the show. That's not to say there won't be some hints for what's to come, but nothing major. We might see Carson Tavor again, hints at Thrawn's plans, maybe hear a Syndulla and what's going on in the known galaxy, but nothing that Dave wants to achieve in Peridea or in Season 2 of the show is going to be brought into The Mandalorian. This is a wonderful update for fans of Ahsoka, because it means that Dave Filoni and the creatives at Lucasfilm are somewhat confident they're going to be able to continue the story of Sabine, Ahsoka, Shin in a second season of the Disney Plus series. I don't think they're going to wait to continue all of that in the Mando film. We're still quite far away story-wise from the big culmination in Dave Filoni's movie, although I do expect in Mando Season 4 something in relation to Thrawn's threat is going to be referenced. They're not entirely detached. And the source probably knows this from the overall structure of the 4th season, which John and Dave have completed, and principal photography is going to take place sometime in the upcoming new year. On the subject of Ahsoka Tano, Bespin Bulletin finished by saying this: I still expect a Season 2 of Ahsoka, not necessarily from any insider knowledge, but to paraphrase Finn from the Star Wars sequel trilogy, it's a feeling. If Ahsoka didn't receive a second season, they would expect some of the plot points to be absorbed, but considering Mando Season 4 is not doing this, by all accounts, this is fantastic news, and maybe Dave Filoni is starting to write that second season. I don't want Mando Season 4 to be diluted by subplots that have nothing to do with the main characters in the known galaxy, but as I say, I do expect 1 or 2 cameos, a couple of crossovers, but the bulk of the story is not continuing. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. And so now, my dear Mandalorians, speaking of Ahsoka, we have some amazing comments about Shin Hati from the actress who plays her, Ivanna Sakhno. She's very insightful, and unlike a lot of cast from Star Wars who typically say some pretty generic stuff, she's actually gone a bit deeper, and you might be surprised about the actress's influences when getting into the role. So she begins by talking about Nordic mythology, specifically the children of Odin, the 2 wolves by which Shin and Baylan were named after, Skoll and Hati. We spoke about this a lot in the build-up to the series, and she said this: it has this perpetual cycle of chase that I think reflects the transient nature of life and the coexistence of opposing forces. And much like the tales of the galaxy far, far away, I think it reflects on some fundamental truth, which is that in every shadow there is light, and in every light there is a shadow finding its quiet home. For the Shin Hati actress, that mythological core also speaks to the grey area between Baylan and Shin, this idea that there is light and darkness within them. Everything they're doing, they think they're doing it for the greater good. They don't see themselves as villains. So when Ivanna read the script, when it came to the influences that she created for herself when she envisioned this character of Shin, this mysterious, now leader of bandits, but originally apprentice of Baylan. She said she tried to inhabit Darth Vader himself, an archetypal Star Wars villain. She would even emulate Vader's labored breathing behind his mask to help her get into Shin's head before the cameras began rolling. She wanted to envision that darkness and pain that he possesses, that he inhabits. She said, quote, "I would channel Vader, not necessarily him as a character, but I would start breathing as he does before doing the take, and trying to really reach the evil within me." While many fans believe eventually on Peridea, she will side with Sabine and Ahsoka Tano, there seems to be more darkness within her than meets the eye. And this is another reason Abeloth theories were so prevalent. We think Baylan is the one searching for her, but as we know, he prepared Shin for something greater. Is she going to inhabit that spirit? Now, the second influence of Shin, according to the actress, was the fallen angel Lucifer, to understand the spectrum of morality, light and dark, good and bad. Where do these dark Jedi sit? She also says how Sabine is almost like a light side reflection of the character, and she's got a fantastic friendship with Natasha Liu Bordisco. They defer to Filoni on official lore surrounding their characters, because this show pushed the boundary of what it means to be a Jedi, and what it means to be a Force user during the New Republic, long after the thriving days of the Republic, long after the Jedi fell during Order 66. And about the gentle giant Ray Stevenson, rest in peace, she described the relationship Shin has with Baylan. She said, quote, "There's this dynamic of father and daughter, which is, incidentally, a popular fan theory as well, that the two are related, that Shin is Baylan's biological daughter." Ivanna went on to say, "Sometimes I imagine when Shin was small and just kind of discovering this world, I think they have a very warm relationship, and I think of them as family, as much as I think of Ray Stevenson being a family to me. And it could just be her great friendship with the late great Ray is the reason she feels this way about the characters." And the Sabine actress Natasha Liu Bordisco says, "I hope that people take from Sabine's journey that you don't have to live a perfect life, and make no mistakes. There is a lesson in Shin's character there too. So could this be hinting at some kind of redemption for the character? It's all very intriguing food for thought. But I want to know what you guys think. Share your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below. I've missed talking about Ahsoka this much. If you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.